Give all praise, Yahweh Shem Yoshua Bashim Rakakadash. Honest to men and truth on down relating to truth and knowledge, so we know truth and knowledge. This top news report continuation. Takeaways from Trump and Putin's call for possible Ukraine ceasefire deal. You have Supreme Court Justice pushes back against it relating to calls for impeachment of Trump. I'm going to read something he wrote in a little bit. Let me just go through this real quick. Protests imminent following Israel's launch in deadly strikes in Gaza. And also there was a Veterans March at National Mall in D.C. relating to Doge cuts affecting veterans. I just learned that today. I'll get that report too as well. Judge rules on Doge's U.S. aid dismantle likely violates the Constitution. Now you have, for example, that the U.S. aid, he was dismantling $11 million related to one of the states, North Carolina, related to food banks and across the country. You know what I mean? So, you know, pretty much for important money funding for that was funded and set it for appropriate, set aside for appropriate programs that the funding was needed for. So that was cut related to, for example, in North Carolina, and various other states relating to food banks which will affect people getting food and different things, you know what I mean, or families or different things for food in various states. So the judge rules relating to that U.S. aid dismantling violation of the Constitution. Now you have Trump invokes relating to Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Last time was used in the War of 1812, World War I, and World War II. Relating to the Enemies Act is relating to combatants of your foreign enemies respectfully. For example, in World War II will be Japan. So there was an act that in wartime. So a judge blocked that relating to because we're in peacetime, we're not in wartime. So, but he invoked that, and he also deported related to migrants. Pretty much defies that order, man. He defied that order by sending planes, and John Honum says, we don't give a damn what the judge says, man. You know what I mean? That's his exact words. He was I believe, interview on Fox. He said, we don't give a damn what the judge says. And relating to him, that was relating to ICE, Homeland Security, relating to continuation, sending migrants on the planes to various points, man. So that was talking about that. I was on the video. So they define it relating to, you have in-house fighting between the executive and the judicial, man. JFK files to release. Scripture talks about a house divided against itself. How can that house stand? How can that house stand? If a kingdom divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. House divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And Satan divided against himself, how can he stand but have an end? Paraphrasing. So that's what you're seeing relating to the in-house fighting relating to the powers, man. For example, the executive power versus the judicial power, man. JFK files to release today is what's expected. You have President Trump fires both Democratic commissioners, FTC, Federal Trade Commission, according to the White House official. That's what that means. Then you have relating to college student that was missing. you have intense weather relating to across the country. Tornadoes that devastated, destruction. You know what I mean? Through the mid, to the central area, heading to the south, parts of up to the northeast areas and different things spreading. For example, recovery just began. You had an area where tornadoes just ripped through houses, and a lot of and numbers of people were deleted, man. You know what I mean? So we have weather across the country related to tornadoes, man. Pretty much in 13 states, man. Rips through 13 states. Trump vows to continue airstrikes on Iran, holds them responsible for Houthi attacks, because Houthis backing up. Houthis backed up by Iran, man. So they want to do a continuation of strikes against Houthis, man. You know what I mean? Pretty much sending a message to Iran. You know what I mean? So you see in scripture talks about, you shall hear a war's rumors of war, see be not troubled, for the end is not by and by. For nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, there shall be earthquakes and should be pestilent and earthquakes in different places, for we in the times of sorrows. So that's what we in. We in the times of sorrows, man. Blizzard warning issues, a snow threat looms in Minnesota central area. So the weather, intensification of weather, what else we have? All right, let me get that report. Because many are calling for Trump's impeachment, man. And Robert Kennedy, judge, said, let me see, I'll see that, here we go. He said, for more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement. That's put mildly, concerning judicial decision. Supreme Court Justice pushed back against Trump, called to impeach a judge, or impeaching a judge in conflict with his administration priorities, man. So if you're not in order with the agenda of the administration, you're going to get pushback. It's going to be opposition, man. In the statement, Roberts said, for more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement with concerning the judicial decision. So you having that intern fighting relating to the judicial and the executive, man. Trump early had called the judge in a legal battle over his administration deportation flights to be impeached. So Trump is defiant, and Onum says, like I said earlier, he don't give a damn what the judge says. Onum has a mission to do certain things. You know what I mean? And pretty much he's the perfect individual to do that, man. You know what I mean? He's no nonsense. So in a matter of speaking, he's going to continue to do. He don't care about what the authorities or powers relating to the judges relating to that, because their goal is to do certain things, man. You know what I mean? And you're seeing that division. I'm going to get 2 Ezra 15 real quick. You have veterans protesting relating to DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency. I didn't even know they were protesting. They were protesting in D.C., man, relating to cuts. I'll give you the thing right here. Let me get that before I get that example of that right here. Protesting Akron. VMI, you have Voice of America too. Something happened with that. They're cutting that too. There were some cuts with that. I see that in a report too. Thousands of U.S. military veterans will protest against Trump. So you see the division. You know what I mean? And somebody told me earlier that these are the same people that voted for him. You know what I mean? But all due respect, you knew what this man was about. You knew what he was going to do. You know what I mean? So if you voted for him, that's what you got. You know what I mean? So I don't know why these individuals be mad. You know what I mean? He's letting you know what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? So whether you like it or not, he's going to do it anyway. You know what I mean? So thousands of U.S. military veterans protest against Trump. This is the National Mall in D.C. You know what I mean? So you see the same people that probably voted for him, they felt, in a matter of speaking, betrayed, man. You know what I mean? They thought it was going to affect another certain type of other people, but they realizing it's affecting them as well. So they felt betrayed on that. They thought they was going to not be affected by certain things, but the reality is they are, man. And you're going to have that same self-same against the self-same, man. We go to 2nd Ezra 15 talking about, I'll read that. Veterans protest Trump and Doge and Musk on National Mall. Hundreds of veterans protest Trump and Musk in VA cuts outside Veterans Hospital. These are just different reports, man. You're seeing a lot of cuts, man. You're seeing a lot of people being laid off, man. You know what I mean? National Mall protests against Trump administration includes veteran hurt by cuts. It's 4 days ago. How was that? Second Ezra 15. Second Ezra 15. 14, we'll go to 14. The world and the people in it are doomed. That's the inhabitants, you're doomed. Woe means destruction, man. The war that will bring their destruction is very near. Ultimate war, go to Second Ezra 11. Second Ezra 9 and 12. The first woe has passed, and the second and third woe come thereafter. The second woe has passed, and the third woe cometh quickly. That's 14, 9, and 12 of Revelations. That means World War III, man. You can go to Isaiah 3. You can go to 2nd Ezra 16, talking about examples relating to around 16 and 30. Let me get examples real quick. I'll just get it regular. This is 2nd Ezra 16. 16 and 30, around 33, around that area. 30-ish. The virgin shall mourn and having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn and having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In wars there shall be bridegroom, and in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed. That means deleted. And their husbands shall perish of the famine. So either the famine or by the sword, which is the sword is war, man. You know what I mean? This is the Apocrypha. Apocrypha means, when you look it up, means hidden in secret, man. This is part of the Bible that was the 1611 Bible, man. It was removed because of relating to information, man. You know what I mean? This had vital information relating to history of a certain people in history and things that's going to happen according to prophecy, for example, man. So 16 and 33 and 34. Go to Isaiah 3 chapter. Isaiah 3. Christian churches ain't gonna read these scriptures, man. It's too spiritually not politically correct, man. Isaiah 3. Let's go to that one. 3 and I believe 20. Let me see. I'll wait to the end. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and the mighty in war. The mighty goes to the soldiers. They're gonna die in war. Men gonna fall by the sword, and their gates shall lament and mourn against cities, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And also, Europe, they were considering relating to the authorizing a military conscription or draft. I've seen that on the report. Go back to 2nd Ezra 15. Go to 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. Go to that. I'll read it again. The world and the people in it are doomed. So it's a warning for the inhabitants of the earth related to destruction. That doom is destruction. And the war that will bring their destruction is very near. Ultimate war will be World War III. And I prove scriptures 16, 33, and 34, Isaiah third chapter, around 21, 22, around that area. So Isaiah 3, second Ezra 16. You know what I mean? So that was scriptures talking about the bridegroom, the man and the woman. They're going to die of war, the sword, or famine. You know what I mean? So that's proof that World War III is going to happen, man. Even Trump knows it's going to happen, man. Nation will arm themselves and fight against each other. They're going to arm themselves with militarily. You know what I mean? Nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. Kingdom goes to realm, realm against realm, powers against powers. Nation will arm themselves and fight against other nations. You know what I mean? That's other major powers, superpowers fighting against other superpowers. Ezekiel 38 talk about certain nations. They're gonna be banned and guard to a certain nation versus another nations. They're gonna be banned and guard to another nation. There will be political turmoil. You see in the division set between these major political affiliations, Democrats, Republicans. You see in the turmoil, with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring legitimate government. You having the power trying to overdo and outdo another form of power or be superior over others while trying to guise in the form of a legitimate government, man. And there will no longer be a free access to the cities. That goes to martial law. You won't be able to travel A to B, C, man, without permission. You know what I mean? Because the struggle for power will bring destruction, man. Because of that power, the turmoil, the chaos is going to bring destruction, man. Go to Isaiah 24, talking about city in desolation, brought down to desolation, and total confusion wherever people live. And this goes to the condition of the condition of what's going to be happening in those times, man. And driven by famine and terrible suffering. So famine, terrible suffering, war. You know what I mean? Think not that I come to send peace, but a sword. So part of that sword is the judgment, is war in different varieties. Think not that I come to send peace on earth, but the sword. Think not that I come to send peace on earth, but division. So division, turmoil, chaos, You know, that division is going to cause that fracture in between different sects of people, different category classes, even races of people, man. So that goes to that division too as well, man. And driven by the famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possession because of a lack of bread, man. Lack of goods. There's going to be famine. Well, famine is a shortage, man. That means lack of resources. So people are going to be in a desperate mindset in that day. But you see now it won't always be like this, man. You know, I mean, it's going to come a time where it's going to be a total change, man. And when that time comes, these people are not going to be as friendly. Neighbors are not going to be friendly. People are not going to be friendly. You're going to see a different side of the people come out, because when they can't eat, you know, certain things are going to be weaponized. You know, for example, food and different things against, were weaponized and controlled. Where people, for example, food, you know what I mean, then people are going to act a certain way, man. You know what I mean, they're going to respond a certain way, especially when they can't do the normal functionable things that day to day that they normally do. They're going to act a certain manner, man. So this gives you an example of what can happen at that time, man. And driven by famine and terrible suffering, people will assault their neighbors and mercilessly plunder their possessions, their goods, their possessions. You're gonna have stealing. You're gonna have breaking and enter, BE. You're gonna have breaking and enter, private, public entities, man. People are not gonna be nice in that day, man. Scripture talks about Matthew's 24 talk about for the love of many shall wax, iniquity shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold, man. You know what I mean? So the iniquities, which goes to the sins, and also the love of many is going to wax cold. It's going to wax cold that day. So this is just a few relating to that. Hope it helps relating to information. Let me see. So this is, I hope this helps relating to information. This is Ayah Wolf.